I've got the 3rd generation Arrma Talion 6S BLX. Let's open this thing up and let's check it out and see all of the goodness inside this box. Hey guys, Rich here from the rcnetwork.com, and today is a very special day. Of course, we have the Arrma Talion 6S BLX. This is the 3rd generation version. I can't wait to open this thing up and just see how it's progressed since the 1st gen that I originally had. Now, I never had the 2nd generation one. It was just minimal changes to the body, the wheels and tires, and I believe the electronics just changed slightly from the previous generation. Now, what's so cool and what kind of really caught my eye about this Talion, the 3rd generation version, was they really kind of squashed it down and made it so low profile. They also gave you a lot more aggressive tire right here that I really like. Now, the original Speed Truggy that came out had kind of a very small pin tire, so this is going to be great for bashing. It's going to have that kind of Badlands type of grip that we're all expecting from these great bash vehicles from Arrma. So just some quick notes on the box right here. Now, what sticks out like a sore thumb is this guy right here, 70 plus miles per hour. All of the previous gens, they claimed 60 plus miles per hour. So I'm really interested to see if it's just a gearing enhancement on this vehicle to get up to that 70 miles per hour that is claimed on the box. Now, other notable features, ready to run. Of course, you have to provide your own batteries for both the vehicle and the remote, but pretty much you get everything inside this box. It is fully waterproof. You do have metal gears, which is a new claim on this box, and you have brushless power with the BLX system, and of course a 2-year limited warranty through Hobbyco. Some of the supplement items inside the box, you get a bag of pistons, so all different sorts of pistons, including some blank ones so you can custom make your own. You get some XT90 connectors for your batteries. You get a whole bag of tools, including a huge 17mm T-wrench, the standard smaller T-wrench, and all sorts of different Allen wrenches from 5mm down to 1.5. A bag of additional body posts, a 20-tooth speed pinion. This is for your high speed runs. You get a little speed document right here for the maximum performance of your Talion. This is going to get you up to that 70 plus mile per hour claimed speed running on 6S using the speed pinion. Now, they do have a statement on here that you need to be on smooth surface for that 20-tooth pinion, and otherwise you want to just be running on the stock pinion on off-road use. And finally, the owner's manual. Now, the only thing I don't like about this owner's manual is it includes all 5 different of the Arrma vehicles from the Typhon, Talion, Creighton, Senton, and Outcast. They all use similar parts, but they've kind of crammed it all into one very large owner's manual, going over all the different options for those vehicles and setups and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of information inside this book. I wish it was one book per vehicle, but I understand Arrma situation. And finally, the Tactic TTX 300. This is Arrma's choice radio for their RTR vehicles. A very good radio, to say the least. It has everything you'd want in an RTR radio and runs on 4 AA batteries. And finally, the Arrma Talion 6S BLX, the 3rd generation. Now, I really like all of the different styling that they've done with the Talion. This thing just looks low and mean. They've really given it a chop top look, and I really like the look of it. The tires almost stick above the cab of the truck. Pretty cool design. Starting off with the wheels and tires. Now, these are the D-Boots Qatar. Definitely have kind of a rally block inspired tread, almost like a Proline Badlands style, but definitely not an imitation of those. Now, the tire is just a little bit narrow for a Truggy size tire, and it's definitely taller than a Truggy size tire. Now, the spoke design on the wheels is a little bit concerning. Now, it is very thin plastic on the dish style wheel, and hopefully the power of the 6S will not end up twisting that design. Hopefully this will definitely hold up to the power of the Talion. The body is pretty nice. I love the way that the new body looks on the Talion, having kind of that chop top look. And I also like some of the different venting that they've done here, like along the sides right here, as if it was like a brake vent of some sort. And throughout, definitely the color scheme is nice. I like the red kind of merging into the black and charcoal gray look on the end. Taking the body off, you get a little surprise underneath with the "Don't Just Bash, Blast" logo that Arrma is famous for. They kind of put that sticker on the inside of the screen printed body. I also like all of the different reinforcements here around the body posts and kind of areas that your vehicle will rub onto the body, including the front shock tower right there, and then also the kind of side mudguard area right here on the side of the body. On the top, you get these cool little retainer clips for your body pins, so you're never misplacing them or losing them out in the field. Taking a look inside the Talion reveals a bunch of changes, and a lot of them are kind of subtle changes that have transpired over the 3 generations now of the Talion. Now, the one thing that is most noticeable here is the outcast battery tray. And the other thing that is slightly noticeable is they've moved all of the electronics further back on the chassis, giving a little bit more stable platform for those high-speed runs. Now, the outcast battery tray is very nice. It is super adjustable. It has a cord management system, and it is very nice because it's using the Velcro straps and a rising capture point at the front of the battery tray. Notable changes on the shocks for the Generation 3 is you get these kind of like pivotable shock cap protectors right here. These things are pretty nice, and they're not going to damage your shock caps or puncture into the body as much as previous generations. So it's just a simple little plastic part to keep everything nice. Next, we do have 4mm shock shafts. Kind of hard to see here as I lift up the boot, but there's definitely a thicker shaft in there just for the bashability and the durability of these shocks. Looking into the servo mount, it's one of the things I really didn't like about the Outcast is the servo mount actually was a very flexible plastic. They've really beefed it up now and made it a lot more durable for the power of this stock servo. Now, the stock servo is not bad. It has plenty of power. It's a little bit slow, but it nonetheless can handle the power of the Arrma Talion. The servo mount has been beefed up now, so that power is now transferable to the wheels. Another notable feature on the Generation 3 is going to be the bulkheads. They've been strengthened and added a little bit of durability by adding this kind of webbing back here to prevent your bulkhead from basically being collapsed over on a direct hit. So it's going to make these bulkheads a little bit thicker and also a little bit more durable when you're out bashing. Now, Arrma didn't just give it a lower stanced body and call it a day. They've actually redesigned several features of the Talion to make this thing perform even better to get up to that claimed 70 mph speeds. Now, they did redesign the shock towers, making them a little bit lower. They've given you a whole different shock package to accommodate the lower shock towers and still giving you the 78mm wheel travel, which is pretty nice. They added adjustable body mounts to lower that body and also giving you a low profile wing mount to get that thing even lower on the body and giving you less drag and more speed. Now, if you're new to Arrma vehicles or the Talion in general, here's some quick specs on the Talion just to get you up to date on the Arrma line of vehicles. Starting with, you get full aluminum shocks. So you get the aluminum cap, aluminum shock body, like I said earlier, the updated 4mm shock shaft, super durable shocks. These things are very nice. Now, you are riding on pivot ball suspension and also universal drive shafts on the front of the vehicle. You do have dog bones in the rear. Now, the universals are super thick, about 4, almost 5mm thick, and they can definitely take a beating. The arms and also the upper arms are very durable plastic and very thick, to say the least. You do have aluminum shock towers that are very thick and also front and rear sway bars. Now, the Arrma Talion uses a standard Truggy size chassis and has a center driveline. It rides with 3 geared fluid fillable differentials, although I believe grease is added from the factory. Moving along the top, you do get an aluminum top plate. You also get an aluminum Ackerman bar. You have plastic chassis braces, both front and rear. The rear one was just slightly redesigned for the 3rd generation. Electronics wise, you get the Arrma setup for 6S BLX, including the BLX 185. This is a Hobbywing rebranded 150 amp ESC capable of up to 6S Lipo. You also get the 2050 kV brushless sensorless motor. This thing has a lot of power and it is a true Truggy sized motor. The ADS 15M is a 15 kilogram servo. It is waterproof and it does have plenty of power for the Arrma Talion. Rounding out the electronics, you do get XT90 connectors, which have been my choice for high voltage systems as of late. Now you do get a system to where you can run a single battery right here with the included jumper wire, or pull the jumper wire out and you can run two matched cell batteries, which I recommend, and you can run either two 2S or two 3S batteries. Moving on to the rear, we have many of the same components that we saw on the front of the vehicle, just the rear being slightly longer as far as the shocks. You're also running on dog bones in the rear versus the universals on the front, and super thick turnbuckles. These are 5mm turnbuckles that you'd expect in an 8-skull platform. The 3mm aluminum plate chassis is very nice. It has a cutout for the spur gear, which is nice because it lets all debris kind of fall out of the chassis instead of getting caught into that gear set, causing other issues. Well guys, that has been my first look at the brand new Generation 3 Arrma Talion 6S BLX. I can't wait to drive this thing. It looks like a lot of fun. I love all of the running improvements that they've done since the Generation 1 all the way up to this new generation for 2017. Well guys, that is it for now. If you have any comments or questions about this item, feel free to post it on down below. And as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now guys. Over now.